Now, what kind of money do we have to do all this? And we're going to talk about that, and then we're going to go and look at our priorities. We're going to do a little voting here, okay? So we can kind of get an idea of what is it we start with. Right now, in the, thank you very much. That's a little higher. Right now, in our building fund, we have $339,000, a little short of $3.5 million. In fact, it's about 10%. Of that money, $127,000. Now, don't cast this in concrete, but as I remember, after when we sold the old parish and got the money, and we paid off the loan, we paid our assessment to the diocese. There was about $127,000 left that went into this fund. Okay, so basically, if you subtract $127,000 for this, Mr. CPA, 212. Thank you very much. Mathematical genius. I was an English major. Okay, so about $212,000 has gone into that fund in the last 5.5 years. Last year, the fund, there was $48,000 contributed to our building fund last year. Now, some of that money is still left over from pledges of people who came into the parish, halfway through or towards the end of the capital campaign. So some of that, a little bit of that money is still, old commitments that are being finalized and completed. Huh? Speak up a little. I'm shouting as it is.
Shout more.
All right. Yo, can you hear me? All right. So, in order to build what we just talked about today, we can't start that in 2010 to do that whole thing. Anybody disagree with that?
No.
Okay. Reality check. So, what I propose we do, let's get our priorities in an order of how, what is it we have to have in whatever structure we build. And by the way, nobody in this room mentioned anything about heat and air conditioning. Would you all like to be out there right now having this meeting? Not this old boy, I can tell you that.
Yes.
Okay. So, how many want the multi-purpose room concept?
Okay, just put unanimous. Put 100. We all recognize the need for
We want the gym, the youth room, the classroom.
How many people want bathrooms?
Yeah. Well, you really know how to get consensus, don't you, Tom?
Let's get the good stuff there. Okay. All right. How many want classrooms? Kitchen.
Yeah.
Large kitchen. Small kitchen.
Large
It will be a
kitchen.
large kitchen.
It will be a large kitchen.
Hang on one second. I'm hearing people say commercial kitchen. Extremely expensive. Okay? And we can take a look at that kitchen back in there. That is not a commercial kitchen. That is not the big Vulcan ovens and all stainless steel. Wonderful. But you could be talking over $100,000 just for a kitchen. What do we got? Might have to be an upgrade, high-end residential
Right.
appliance.
That'd be nice.
Comment on that just to take it further. Right now, let's think about the building, not necessarily the AIMB inside the building, how we furnish it, tables, chairs, carpeting, that kind of stuff, that comes down the road. That's also a function of money. Let's talk about the building now. If we know we need a kitchen, we know it's going to be X number of square feet to accommodate what we need, that's what will be planned. As we get further down the road and we realize what kind of funding we have and what our needs are for AIMB, then we can talk about commercial stoves versus residential, commercial dishwashers, whatever the case may be. So let's not try to get real mired in the small details of the interior. Let's concentrate on the big things of the facility. I'm sorry for interrupting.
And we have to have at least 50% of what we're going to do. Yes. Yes. That's what it has been.
don't have any assets.
Yeah, technically, and that's a good point, that church is not ours. Even though we celebrate church community and mass there regularly, and anybody can come and go as they please, the land and the church and everything is really in the bishop's name.
That's true, but it's paid off.
It is paid off, but that doesn't allow us to borrow against it, because it's not our asset.
We borrow from the diocese who arranges loans through the banks that the diocese deals with. That's how it works.
And just to refresh people's memory, when we built the church that we sit in today, we had just under, and I'm using round numbers, just under $1 million already in the bank. We were able to borrow another $1 million. So we had to have $1 in our pocket for $1 that they're willing to loan us. And then when we sold the land, we paid that loan off. So, and that was part of our budgetary constraint, if you will, for the last few years until we sold that land. We were paying interest to the tune of $30,000 to $40,000 to $50,000 a year, depending on what the interest rate was. So, food for thought.
The original phase 2 was multi-level. The lower level on the top, facing the church was below grade, on the back side was above grade. So it was not a basement per se. Probably two sides of the building were underground, the other two sides were somewhat open because of the slope of the pond.
That makes sense.
Okay? You.
That's what I'm saying, though, if you fix with the basement, you can take care of your storage rooms, and maybe some classrooms, conference rooms, whatever, in something this size, that once you get it finished off.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Logic is perfect. I'm not going to be doing that. Okay.
I don't know how it's not economically feasible.
And if it's very strong as a commercial kitchen, well, here's what it's going to take to do a commercial kitchen. Now here we can design the space for a commercial kitchen and put all the hooks in there that's needed to do that later. But to go ahead and do it full scale now is this much.
That makes sense.
To get ready for it is this much. And then we go back and say, this, each one of the pieces that we've talked about will take this to do, and what will the parish support? So that's the idea. This is very helpful for us to get that information.